Maybe.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Okay, well, welcome. This is the last session of Black History Conversations for season 13, and it has been a bit of a 13th season. So welcome to my colleagues who've joined us so far, and we look forward to others joining us over the next half an hour or so. So I'm just going to find the PowerPoint, and we'll just go through the formalities of getting this final session sorted. I'm back in Australia now, so we'll go through all the bits and pieces. So, last session of season 13. I'm Liz Millman from Learning Links International, and we've got Garrick Prayog and Simon Faringo, also from Learning Links International, with us today, and Walter from Maypen Rotary, and Jackie Pennant. It's just really great as ever to have you join us and with us at the moment. So I thought this was a lovely little card with a Welsh dragon on it, and he's got a tail just like the Taith tail. And we've got Merry Christmas greetings in Welsh, in English, and in Jamaican. So wishes from all of us from the Learning Links International team. So I'd like to acknowledge that I'm here living on traditional lands of the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation, and I pay my respects to their elders, both past and present. And this is a bit heartbreaking. This is the view from the window that I'm sitting by. I mean, it's pitch black at the moment, but this afternoon it looked absolutely gorgeous. But we do live on a cliff, which is not the best place to be living. And my daughter's found us somewhere else to live, so we're going to move on. So I'll be showing different kinds of pictures from off the mountain down in on the flatlands, as they're called around here. Okay, so welcome to Black History Conversations. Thank you for joining us. Just to go back over a few things, to say that Black History Conversations started in October 2020 during COVID, and as the world reeled from witnessing George Floyd's murder. And we've completed 13 seasons now. It's managed by Learning Links International CIC, and we're so grateful for the support of the many individuals who've joined us and the organisations that are giving us support. So I usually introduce a session along with Garrick Prayog, and we're often supported by June Elizabeth Whitesmith-Gully. I haven't seen her for, oh no, I think she was in one of our sessions yesterday. The technical side's managed by Simon Faringo, who posts the recordings on the YouTube on Belong Nottingham's platform at present. So that's where you can find it. Okay, so do you remember all that time ago, Jackie, when you suggested that we had our acknowledgement, a wider acknowledgement, and we've remembered the International Decade for People of African Descent over the last few years, but there's more to look at to reflect on that next year. I promised we'd try and do something in this season, and we haven't. But Black History Conversations acknowledges the injustice of the actions taken by the British and other European countries that invaded and took possession of the islands in the Caribbean Sea, as well as the continents of North and South America and Australia. Yeah, in addition, we also recognise the exploitation of the great continents of Africa, Asia, Australia, and many other parts of the world in the centuries of colonisation and ongoing exploitation. And we acknowledge that this has resulted in the destruction and destabilisation of so many nations, peoples, and cultures. So we did earlier in the year, though, invite Sherko Gill, one of the coordinators of UNESCO activities, to come and join us and to tell us more about what was going on during the year. And also on the internet, there's lots of really valuable resources. There's the General History of Africa series, which is fabulous. Priority Africa, Roots of Enslaved People, lots and lots of resources. And we've started the season off in quite a stable way, really. We had a special session about the Taith project, building bridges. Now, it was interesting because by the middle of September, we were only just beginning to identify the potential of this project and think about what we were going to do. And to think that within a month or so, we were welcoming Dr. Barrington Richardson to North Wales, and then also getting on our way across to Jamaica. Yes, it's been a real roller coaster, I have to say. So it was great that Leslie was able to help us in the second session that we had about the Building Bridges of Friendship project. And I have to say, the last few sessions have been mainly focused on this project. Then Treventor from Northampton joined us, and his presentation was really fascinating. What a wonderful young man. Our 150th session, we welcomed Catherine Hall, Professor Catherine Hall, and that's a really interesting one to look back on. And again, interestingly, had the theme about Penrhyn Castle as well as other work. And she was saying in that, I don't know if you joined us for that session, Jackie, but she was saying that some years ago she went to Penrhyn Castle looking for evidence of telling the story and found absolutely nothing, bar a few paintings. So she'd identified exactly the same thing that we had, but we were talking about it years later even. Then we did have a session with Beverly talking about African lives, a walk around Newcastle. That was quite a difficult session. I can't remember what happened, but it was really difficult to get the recording of that one done. Anyway, we'll invite Beverly back again, perhaps in the new year. Okay, so we've had quite a few different sessions, and then we're going to be looking at our Building of Bridges of Friendship project again today, because that's our area to work on. So I'm just checking because nobody else has arrived to join us yet. So let's just see how many other PowerPoints I've got up here. So just to remind ourselves where we're at. But this lovely print was on the front of our T-shirts when we were in Jamaica. So I don't know, did you get one, Walter, in the end? Walter, did you get a T-shirt?
Yes, Liz.
Jolly good, jolly good. I
Uh-huh.
have to say the sizings were a bit odd. The bloke sizes were great because I think they were all just big, but the smaller ones were really quite tight, but they were quite stretchy. It was a lovely design. Well done, well done. Thank you for getting that done. Okay, so we're hoping at some stage during the next half hour or so that we'll be joined by Dr. Kirt Henry. He came to visit us in Wales just after we'd had the delegation visit over to Jamaica. So there he is with the guy who's head of the People's Collection in Wales. So he's going to be telling us about some of the things he's doing. And then I don't know if you've seen this, Garrick, that the council minutes are now presented.
Yes.
To say that the representatives from the North Wales Jamaica Society with financial backing, we do have to check out these comments because we use the North Wales Jamaica Society as our main name for what we're doing, but Learning Links International's not getting a mention, and yet we're the managers of the Welsh Government funding.
Yes.
So yeah, it was good, and the had a conversation with Salamatu Fada, who's a councillor today, and she said that one of the things she's organising is a presentation to the council at the beginning of January. I don't know if you'll be able to go along, Garrick.
Mhm.
About the fire engine. So
Good.
that was
Mm.
good. And we talked about the importance of managing all the projects through the Jamaica Wales Alliance project committee. That's the committee that Coy Roach chairs, rather than different ones go off in different directions. So that's really important. So the resolution was to approve a formal declaration of friendship between Bangor City and Maypen, and to review a town twinning arrangement in 5 years. So
Yeah.
we'll see how that goes. This is when we introduced the Jamaica Wales Alliance Project Committee, and we are continuing to meet regularly. And I'm thinking of seeing if Glossin might take notes at the meetings, because you could really do with having notes, but
Mm.
it's too late at night for me. I write the notes, but I never get them written up. So next day I'm on to something else. Right. And that's just about the project that we're working on at the moment. So I'll go back to that again. What's interesting is the consistency of what we're doing and what we say we're doing. So this was the summary of the project. Just having a little yawn here. And what did I put next? Oh, and this was what I was going to say to make you laugh, Walter. This is the last of the PowerPoints that I've got. And that is that we took the slates from the back of Alley Church. And this is how school slates used to look. Do you remember, Walter, or do you know anybody who remembers using a slate for writing
Yes,
on?
yes, Liz.
Yeah.
I remember back in the school days. I don't mean to date myself,
Yeah,
but
and can you see I'm enlarging this one, and although it's got all these almy things all over it, it's
Mhm.
also got the little piece of slate, which is what you use to write with. You didn't use chalks and crayons like they've got in some of the other illustrations.
Yeah.
You actually used a piece of sharpened slate pencil, and that marked the slate, but then you could just either spit on it and rub it with your thumb, or wipe it with a cloth, and it would be just disappear like those disappearing tablets people have now.
Okay.
Oh gosh. So yeah.
But you
And do
know,
you
Liz, I remember as a child, we used to get stuff like that as a Christmas present. So we were use it at home.
oh, I see.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Something to play with. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I know, Jackie, you won't remember slates in school, I'm sure. But I don't know if you had grandmothers or grandfathers who remembered them.
And
But
also, Liz,
Mm-hmm.
most of the parents back then they would buy a slate even before you start school. So
Oh.
you'll be practicing at home, because I remember my grandmother bought me a slate. So we'll be doing things at home before we went to school.
Oh, right.
that is true. That is so true. And also, our blackboards at school, they were made out of slates.
Yes. Yes, they were.
Oh, were they?
Yeah.
Mhm.
The big boards on the wall.
Right. Hmm.
Gosh. I've never heard of that. But it's interesting because it's all to do with slate from North Wales. I mean, there's slate in other countries. It's not a unique rock to Wales, but they were unique in getting close to cornering the market in the early days.
Yeah. Well, they must have sent them to the States as well, because definitely we used them in the classrooms.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Mhm.
Well, they would have done. And you also, it's not just a case of, having the rock in your country. You have to be able to, it's a skill to split the rock so that you've got the very narrow strips there.
Yeah.
All right. I'm just wondering if anybody's got Kurt or anyone else online.
Shall I just message him?
I'm just phoning him.
Oh.
No reply at the moment. So I think maybe we'll I don't know. Oh, I know what I was going to ask you, Jackie. Did you see the email from Peter Pennant? Oh, Kurt now, excuse me.
Yes, I did. I got the email. Thanks.
Hello. Yes, that should be okay. He's going to join us in a few minutes. I'm sorry, Jackie, I cut you off.
Yeah, I did. I got the email, Liz. Thank you.
Hang on 1 minute. Sorry. So that isn't going to work out. Apparently, is en route, so Zoom won't work. Jackie, I do apologise. Explain to me what's going to be happening then with you and Peter Pennant. Have you thought of anything yet?
Not yet, but what I will do is send him an email and just kind of bring him up to speed with where I am, what my thoughts are on how we, as Pennants or relatives of Pennants, can get together and come up with some ideas. I did speak with Ivor this morning.
Oh yeah.
About the Heritage Day they're going to have, or week in Pennants. So we're in contact, so he's going to keep me updated with that. And so wherever we can, whatever we can do, wherever we can kind of have a part in that, maybe coming as a delegation from, abroad, Pennants coming in, that would be great. So that's what I'm looking at. Pennants Heritage trip. It's it's less than a year, but hopefully we can get something together. So that's what I'm looking into.
Yeah, Jackie.
Yes, I will.
Can I weigh in on something there?
Yes.
It's a great idea, but if you call in October, it's very rainy. We had a lot of rain this past October. I don't know what next year will bring during the month of October, but that's something to consider. Maybe and you're planning to do a plan B. as far as an alternative date?
Okay, we'll take that into consideration. I was just trying to hook up with what they have planned for the community. Maybe we'll have some plans to also do something virtually with them as well. But yeah, we'll take that in consideration.
Okay. All right. Thank
Thank you. Appreciate that.
All right.
It's a good point, isn't it?
Because Liz and I, we had this conversation, didn't we?
Yeah.
To see whether October will be the best month, considering the hurricane season and the rain. And so if other arrangement can be made, that would be excellent.
Well, let's see, because I think I assumed that we were being kept in touch with what the Pennants Community Development Committee were doing, but it looks, with the issue about the roof of the community centre, and now this suddenly being shared, looks as if we need to build a closer working relationship with the Pennants Community Development Committee. So I think that that's something that we can progress. I think that would be good. Kirt had some really lovely ideas that he was discussing when he was on one of the sessions, and he's suggesting, in terms of the heritage, that actually that some of that slate from the alley church is maybe used possibly for some of the memorialization of the enslaved workers. So that could be quite interesting, I think. We'll see what happens. Sorry, I've got a cough now. It's you hearing about you, Garrick. So that's quite interesting. So I think as we've given folks, a good bit of time to come and join us if they want to, I think maybe we'll wrap up with this session now, if that's all right.
Yeah. Kirt wouldn't be able to join us now, so
No.
He's in transit, so yeah.
Yeah. Okay then.
Yeah.
So I look forward to chatting to you next week, folks.
Okay.
All right.
Lovely.
Okay, Liz.
All right, Liz.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Enjoy.
Bye, everybody.
Okay. All right. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.